Starfleet Escape PodCast. Prepare for launch in 3, 2, 1. Enjoy the ride.
You'll flood the whole compartment.
He'll die. He's dead already. It's too late.
Spock!
Ship. Out of danger?
Yes.
Don't grieve, Admiral. It is logical. The needs of the many outweigh
The needs of the few.
or the one. I never took the Kobayashi Maru test. Until now. What do you think of my solution?
Spock.
I have been, and always shall be, your friend. Live long and prosper.
No.
We are assembled here today to pay final respects to our honored dead. And yet it should be noted that in the midst of our sorrow, this death takes place in the shadow of new life, the sunrise of a new world, a world that our beloved comrade gave his life to protect and nourish. He did not feel this sacrifice a vain or empty one, and we will not debate his profound wisdom at these proceedings. Of my friend, I can only say this. Of all the souls I have encountered in my travels, his was the most human. Orders. Up.
In stereo where available. Hello and welcome to the Starfleet Escape PodCast here on the Four-Eyed Radio Network, where we escape into the Star Trek universe. This is episode number 53 and is being recorded on February 27th, 2015. Today's topic, a tribute to Leonard Nimoy. I'm Aaron.
I'm Marty.
And I'm Eric.
This episode is brought to you by Revenge Lover for designs and inquiries. Visit revengelover.com. Don't worry, that'll be added in later.
That was great for designs and other
and inquiries.
If you want some design stuff.
If you want to kick somebody's ass and give them design stuff.
So, hello guys.
Hello.
Hello.
It's kind of a sad day for us all in the Star Trek community, and I think the community in general, with the passing of Leonard Nimoy today at the age of 83.
Mm-hmm.
So I think to start, let's kind of talk about our favorite Spock or Leonard Nimoy moments.
Okay. I really liked the last commercial he did with Zachary Quinto, the car commercial.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny, and it showed that he still had a sense of humor, and that he was still into Star Trek. And I'll always associate Leonard Nimoy with Star Trek and Spock. He had a large body of work, and he was very accomplished in art and photography.
Mm-hmm.
He was music. He was much bigger than Star Trek, but to me, he'll always be Spock. And it hit pretty hard. But yeah, Star Trek, I just watched Journey to Babel, which I really enjoy because of it really showed the conflict with his father.
Right.
And overall, I really like that episode. I'm always a sucker for like father-son like moments in Star Trek or whatever fiction. Yeah, I thought that episode it's probably one of my favorite Spock-centered episodes. So.
Right. No, I agree. The relationship between Spock and Sarek was very interesting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
We saw in Star Trek V how when Spock was born, Sarek kind of
human.
He didn't basically wanted nothing to do with him.
Take this ugly baby away.
And then I think what seems out of character to me between the characters anyway is in the 2009 movies. Yeah. It's not Leonard Nimoy's Spock, it's
Zachary Quinto's
Spock, but it's a contrast to the Prime universe, I think, a little bit, and some of the interactions with Spock and Sarek. But they both just lost Amanda.
And a planet.
Right.
And a planet, yeah.
I really liked, I forget the actor's name who played Sarek in the JJ movies, but I did like that portrayal of their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's a different timeline, different events have unfolded,
right.
But I'm glad they at least touched upon that in those movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really glad that Leonard Nimoy was in both JJ movies. That was a real surprise.
Definitely the second one.
Yeah, that was an even bigger surprise. I was like, wow, because they kept that under complete wraps.
Yeah.
And even though some fans may hate the whole how that happened thing with the JJ universe, it still gave us 2 more chances to see Leonard Nimoy as Spock. I'm glad for that now more than ever.
They didn't have to use the aging, though, makeup in the last 2. You could tell he was getting...
Well, that's the thing, though, but it kind of worked because that was the Spock from a future slightly beyond Nemesis. And Spock was still alive at that time. He was way over 200, I think, at the time, right?
Yeah.
And so that was about like what Sarek was before Sarek passed, and also in the Next Generation.
By the way, the guy who played Sarek, Ben Cross.
Yeah, that's it, Ben Cross. Okay. Oh, someone shared this from Tumblr. They assembled a bunch of pictures of some of Leonard Nimoy's tweets. He said, anyone here want to make me their honorary grandfather? Consider it done.
Yep.
And it goes on. There's like, I'm honored to have so many honorary grandchildren. He was very welcoming to everyone, not just in this fandom.
Yeah, no, I agree. One of the, I think, most powerful Spock moments is from The Next Generation when he melded with Picard to touch his father.
Yeah.
Because they chose never to meld. That was the first time, I think, we see Spock cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, God, I almost forgot about that moment. It's been a while since I've watched Unification.
Did they use the original Sarek? Remember when they showed Picard talking? Was that actually a dub over? Because it sounded like Sarek.
Oh, and Picard was speaking
Yeah.
to Sarek. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I don't recall. I thought it was like a silent moment. Picard offered him to touch what Sarek shared with him.
Touch me.
And then, and
Love
then
me.
Picard touched. I mean, then Nimoy. Wow. I'm going all over the place. Then Spock touched Picard, and then almost instantaneously started to cry. I thought it was pretty powerful. Pretty powerful moment there.
Yeah, and you just made it sound so wrong. Anyway,
So I think the character arc, I think.
He grew, too. The whole character, it was one of those best things where he grows with the character, because he actually did grow as a person and as an actor.
There was a time where he hated to be Spock, and
Yes.
they wrote that I'm not Spock, and then he fully embraced it.
And
And
one of the reasons he wanted out of Star Trek 3, when he was written out, is the death scene. He wanted out of Star Trek. And then he came back because people wanted him back.
You can't have the original series without Spock, I don't think.
no, not at all.
I mean, he
Let's create a guy named Zahn. No, just-
he lasted all of the pilot episodes.
Yes, he was the only one.
Right.
Yeah. So something funny that seems a little out of character for Leonard Nimoy. I'm pretty sure this isn't how he acts at all. But have you guys seen the Bruno Mars, the Lazy Song alternate version with Leonard Nimoy?
No.
God, I don't think I have seen
Oh
that.
my goodness. You guys have to watch that. It's the funniest thing ever.
Well, now I'm going to have to.
Yes.
What was it again?
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars, the Lazy Song alternate official video. I'll let you guys pull that up.
Now, the other thing that I loved about lately is, was it the Super Bowl ad that they had where they had Shatner and Nimoy driving cars?
I don't know if it was in the Super Bowl, but I've seen that commercial.
Yeah, Nimoy's wearing blue and Shatner's wearing yellow,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like their uniforms. It's like
They're wearing cardigans or something.
yeah, or a polo shirt or something.
Yeah. So the Lazy Song is absolutely the greatest video ever.
I just brought it up.
It was the alternate version. It came out after the first one did.
Yeah,
The first one was
Wait,
terrible.
I've got a link. Let me just link you guys.
I got it.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
care
he
about Jabbar.
doesn't. I'm pretty sure this isn't his real life.
Oh, Nimoy?
Yeah.
Him smelling the bad milk.
It's kind of like a Leslie Nielsen version of, oh God, he's taking a pee.
He gets better as it goes on.
This is my life every day.
Oh my god.
He goes to the store in his pajamas.
Well, wait to see what he buys.
What were the names of the magazines? Okay, we have... I don't know what it says, but it's not good. Oh my god, he gives the guy the finger? I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Maybe he wasn't looking that old, because in this video, he still looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, that was 4 years ago.
Shatner.
Yeah.
He's on every channel.
So yeah, that was a Lazy Song if you listeners out there, after you listen to our podcast, check out Bruno Mars' The Lazy Song alternate official version. Just make sure you're over 18 if you're going to watch that video. Kind of raunchy, that video.
I'm actually really glad that Nimoy agreed to do that or was a part of that, because that was amazing.
It feels so out of place, but it's the greatest thing ever.
It's out of place, but you have to admit, like, he must have been such a great sport about that. Like, it was hilarious.
Yeah. He must have been like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Why not?
At the end when he's smoking,
yeah.
He quit 30 years ago.
Well, what was he smoking in that at the end of that video?
Yeah, I know. Basically, COPD was the reason he passed away.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So remember, kids, don't go out and become a big star in the smoke.
Well, don't smoke at all. You can become a big star, and if you do remember us, you can send us some money.
The little people.
But I have another story to share, I guess, with Leonard Nimoy. So he had quit smoking, and I think, let me pull it up here. I can't see what year this is, but his image was used in a stop smoking campaign.
Yep.
Where it says, "Don't smoke, live long and prosper." And then Nimoy with the iconic Vulcan salute. Then it says, "Leave the pack behind." That's one of the reasons why I never smoked, because that was in my elementary school's nurse's office, that poster.
Yeah, and even last month he tweeted, "Don't smoke. I did. Wish I never had." That's still pretty powerful. Yeah.
Because think about this. If he hadn't, he died at 83. He could have lived to 100.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah.
He would have lived to 84. No.
In that alternate dimension. Okay. Well, anything like in the Lazy Song video, I would...
That's an alternate reality right there. I love it when he gets in front of the car and he goes...
He flicks him off.
Well, when he's in front of the mirror going...
Yeah. So, Mario, do you have any favorite Nimoy moments?
I do remember a couple of things. One, and we had talked about this earlier, was one of my favorite shows as a younger lad. What was on, I think it was on the History Channel originally in syndication when we were old enough to remember it. And then on the Sci-Fi Channel was a show called In Search Of. And it was kind of the equivalent of Only with Reality. Jonathan Frakes' show. What was the name of it, Aaron? Do you remember it? Where he went and did all those stories?
Believe It or Not,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny that they're both from Trek. They both went that way. But he did that. What was it?
Shatner did Rescue 911.
Rescue 911. In this story, he wasn't on it. It was just him as a narrator.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember his voice all the time. Because that voice, honestly, it's one of those iconic voices.
Right.
You have voices like Orson Welles and some of the animators and things like that, but you have his voice and you can always tell it. That was a show that I always watched. There was, 1977 through 82 was the original, and then it went into syndication, and it did show up a couple of different places. And I know they were trying to make a new version of In Search Of recently, but I don't know if it ever got off the ground.
That was back in 2002 on Sci-Fi, and it didn't last long.
No, that's one of the things I remember. The other thing I always remember, and it's kind of funny, that they used Nimoy's voice more for the Star Trek, I believe at least, the epilogue, the voiceover. He did it in Star Trek 2, the captain,
right.
The captain's oath, what they call the captain's oath now. He did that in Star Trek 2 when he died, and then started the third movie. They did the same thing, almost basically kind of a recap of the end of the second one. And then he also was in the 2009 version. Mm-hmm. He had his voice as the epilogue.
He did do a lot of voice work. He was also Galvatron in the 1986 Transformers movie.
And
Sentinel Prime. Yeah, Sentinel Prime in Dark of the Moon.
And that horrible
movie.
They should have just kept him for Galvatron.
Oh, yeah.
It was the first time I ever heard his voice in an angry way.
Oh, yeah, Galvatron. And
Galvatron was a bastard.
Yeah, he was evil.
You thought Megatron was bad. These guys actually killed people.
Yeah, Galvatron was huge. He was a very accomplished actor, and he also directed, also did a lot of writing. He was just really an all-around talented individual.
Mm-hmm. And he's a native of Boston, and he went to I believe, English High.
Yes, you did. And actually, I know somebody who actually was in school with him. My old neighbor. Yeah, he was in English High with him, and believe it or not, Farrakhan.
Wow.
There's 3 people, I know a guy named Nate that lived next to me. He actually, like I said, went to school, and if you knew him, he said, if you knew him then, he wasn't the same actor. He wasn't outgoing like what he was as an actor. So shows how many, how much people grow. But I believe he grew up in the West End.
Possibly. I'm not sure what neighborhood he grew up in.
What a lot of people don't know is his parents were immigrants. Jewish immigrants. So,
Right.
yes, he actually was born and raised in the West End. His parents were from the Ukraine.
Interesting.
His father, here's another interesting one, he coming from Dorchester after moving out of Southie. His father, Max Nimoy, owned a barbershop in Mattapan.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Barbershop.
I was just reading over his Wikipedia entry. His last tweet was actually some of his poetry. A life is like a garden. Perfect moments can be had, but not preserved, except in memory. Live long and prosper. Going into some of his immediate castmates' reaction, Shatner said, I loved him like a brother. We will all miss his humor, his talent, and his capacity to love. Zachary Quinto said, my heart is broken. I love you profoundly, my dear friend, and I will miss you every day. And George Takei, who I believe was on CNN at one point today talking about it, but I haven't seen that clip. But he said the word extraordinary is often overused, but I think it's really appropriate for Leonard. He was an extraordinarily talented man, but he was also a very decent human being.
I totally forgot about this. I'm reading from his too. Did you know from 1982 to 87 he hosted a children's educational show called Standby Lights, Camera, Action on Nickelodeon?
No idea.
I did not have Nickelodeon during those years, so no, I completely did not know that.
Yeah, and he was also a voiceover narrator for the CBS paranormal series Haunted Lives, the true ghost stories in 1991. I don't remember that. I got to look these up because...
Oh, yeah. We do have to mention that he worked a lot with John Delancey for that Alien Voices audio production series. There's a lot of good stuff there. I'm just reading through this. He also did from 94 to 97 Ancient Mysteries on A&E. So he did a lot of those, like...
Mystery.
And he was on Fringe, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yes. As Walter's friend.
Walternet?
Walternet, yes. That was the name of the character. In the alternate reality, Walter was Walternet.
Oh, that's funny. I actually haven't seen Fringe. It's just one of those shows I gotta get into at some point.
I tried.
I liked it.
I tried getting into it.
If you watched it the first few years, it wasn't as good as towards the end.
Eric, since you mentioned some of the actors that worked with him from the original series have said, I have a couple of tweets that I'll read from other actors, Star Trek and non-Star Trek.
Right.
So you mentioned Takei.
Takei rhymes with okay.
And Toupee. William Shatner. So next here we have Jonathan Frakes, who hashtag LLAP, for those who don't know, it's live long and prosper. RIP to the best first officer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now,
was that it?
Then at the real Nimoy.
Yeah.
But
that's all Frakes wrote?
That's all Frakes wrote in his tweet.
That's really awesome of him.
I think that was very nice. I mean, both first officers.
Yeah.
I got to look this one up, too. I just read this. In 2009, he was on Saturday Night Live. And
that's right.
He appeared as a surprise guest on the Weekend Update, and he said, called all the Trekkies who did not like the new movie dickheads.
Yeah, right. I remember that.
Oh, they do have that episode highlighted. If you're on Xbox, there's actually a Spock Remembered.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
On the tab of Xbox. They actually link to all the shows, and the Saturday Night Live episode is one of those.
Okay.
That they link to. So if anyone wants to have a Leonard Nimoy marathon this weekend,
Check out Xbox.
Check out Xbox, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to plug it. I'm just saying, like, it's a very convenient way to just, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, whatever is out there of them, I say you go see it.
Yeah.
Here's a funny one, too, Aaron. You're going to love this. I don't know if Eric knows I'm as much of a Disney fan as I am. You know how much of a Disney fan I am.
Oh, yeah. It's a good thing they bought Star Wars.
Yes. Hopefully someday they'll buy Star Trek.
No.
Nope.
No. So in front of the Great Movie Ride, which is the Chinese theater mock-up in MGM Studios, there is, when it was opened and dedicated, he actually put his name, his hands, and his signature in the cement in front.
Oh.
And I remember seeing it. It actually has his hands, and he has it shaped like the Live Long and Prosper. It's cool.
Nice. Oh, so since we're jumped around a little bit, that Live Long and Prosper salute,
Symbol, yeah.
Nimoy created it, and it's actually a Jewish symbol.
For peace, isn't it?
It's supposed to be done with two hands pointed out. It's the Aaronic symbol.
Oh, you're saying it because it's Aaron. No, just kidding.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I know of it. But yeah, so that's a Jewish thing.
If people do want to read about that, Leonard Nimoy actually wrote an article on StarTrek.com talking about that. So definitely check that out. And yeah, StarTrek.com, they're probably going to be having so many remembrances of him.
I'm sure. And getting back to some of these tweets from celebrities, we have Patrick Stewart, Star Trek's Captain Picard, who says, "It is with sadness that I heard of Leonard Nimoy's death. I was lucky to spend many happy, inspiring hours with him. He won't be forgotten." Next, Nathan Fillion, who says, "At the Real Nimoy, I have been and always shall be your fan. Thank you." Which I think that's a good play on the quote from Leonard Nimoy. Well, from Spock. Next, Seth MacFarlane, who says, "Leonard Nimoy brought us one of the greatest, noblest characters in the history of American storytelling. Someone find the Genesis planet."
Seth MacFarlane, always a huge Star Trek fan. There's so many references in all of his shows. So
Yep. He had a cameo on Enterprise.
Exactly.
As a guest walk-on.
Yes, he did.
Felicia Day says, "Silently, one by one, in the infinite meadows of heaven, blossomed the lovely stars, the forget-me-nots of the angels. Hashtag RIP Leonard Nimoy."
Wow.
Yeah. And Eric, you mentioned Zachary Quinto already.
Yes.
Will Wheaton.
No.
What?
Will Wheaton.
Yes, sorry, my apologies. Don't be a dick. That's not what he said this time.
Cream.
"We stood on the shoulders and wouldn't have had a galaxy to explore if you hadn't been there first. Thank you, Leonard. Rest in peace." Larry King. "He created a role that nobody else could play." I think that's true.
Larry King. Boston, Massachusetts.
Multi-talented writer, actor, director, a terrific and sweet man. RIP Leonard Nimoy. Hashtag Spock. Hashtag Star Trek. And I mean, Zachary Quinto does a fine job as Spock, but he isn't Spock.
No,
he's Spock Beta.
Next, Jason Alexander, who's a big Star Trek fan. He also appeared in Voyager.
that's right.
Who did? Who's this?
Jason Alexander.
Yes.
"I shall truly miss Leonard Nimoy. He gave us a great gift that will last for ages. A good soul and a kind man. Rest in peace." Next, Moby.
Moby.
No. So sad. Leonard Nimoy can't have died. Hashtag Leonard Nimoy.
Hate to break it to him, but...
Well, yeah. Next, Jerry Ryan, who plays 7 of 9. RIP, Mr. Nimoy. You really did live long and prosper, and we were all the richer for it. Bad Robart tweeted a picture. "Dearest Leonard, what a man you were. What a life you lived. As funny and thoughtful and generous and loving as you were talented. You taught us all at every encounter. We will miss and love you forever. JJ."
Did you realize, I didn't know this, but just to cut in with some more of his acting career, him and Shatner also, Star Trek wasn't the only thing they acted in together.
Really?
He actually was in T.J. Hooker with him.
Oh.
Hey, I liked T.J. Hooker.
I've never seen an episode of T.J. Hooker.
No, it's on whatchamacallit now. It's on TV Land every night.
Oh, is it on TV Land? What time, though?
Like 6 o'clock, 5, 6 o'clock.
Oh, I'm not home.
I'm not home either, but I know it's on.
In the morning or at night?
Yeah, at 5 in the morning I'd be talking about it.
I don't know. I'm watching Golden Girls at 11.
And that speaks volumes. Who's your favorite Golden Girl?
Oh, man. Let me think about it for a second. Well, let's go with...
The fact that he actually has to think about this.
Let's go with Rose, who's Betty White, because of the roast of William Shatner.
Yes.
Just for that. I'm going to go with that.
Did you know that Betty White is older than sliced bread?
Yes, I did. I read that. She really is older than sliced bread.
All right, let's get back onto Nimoy.
So next, I'm going to skip the people I don't know who they are.
Well, say a name. I'll tell you if I know who it is.
Josh Gad.
No, I don't know that.
Okay, so I'm just going to skip them. Sorry, Josh. Next, we have Tom Hanks.
Who's that?
Yeah, I don't know who. No, I'm kidding.
He's one of my favorite actors, actually, Tom Hanks, who says Leonard Nimoy was more than Mr. Spock.
Yes,
but Mr. Spock is his gift to us all. Live long and prosper, Hanks.
I was going to say he was also Captain Spock and Ambassador Spock.
But not Dr. Spock.
Let's not even go there.
Well, some people get him confused.
That guy is all messed up. Anyway.
Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. And finally, from the Star Trek official Twitter, we are deeply saddened. Sorry.
Saturn?
I'm stumbling. I'm sorry. It's emotional. We are deeply saddened to report the passing of Leonard Nimoy. He died this morning at the age of 83. Hashtag LLAP.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he did pass away at Mass General, right?
No, he passed away at home.
At home?
That's what they're reporting. Yeah.
He actually got home? Wow.
Yeah. And also we have here the President of the United States, Barack Obama, released a statement. Who's that? I don't know who he is. So, statement by the President on the passing of Leonard Nimoy. Long before being nerdy was cool, there was Leonard Nimoy. Leonard was a lifelong lover of the arts and humanities, a supporter of the sciences, generous with his talent and his time. And of course, Leonard was Spock. Cool, logical, big-eared, and level-headed, the center of Star Trek's optimistic, inclusive vision of humanity's future. I love Spock. In 2007, I had the chance to meet Leonard in person. It was only logical to greet him with the Vulcan salute, the universal sign for live long and prosper. And after 83 years on this planet, and on his visits to many others, it's clear Leonard Nimoy did just that. Michelle and I join his family, friends, and countless fans who miss him so dearly today.
Wow.
Did you know he was on, my God, I can't believe how many of these big-name shows he was on. Bonanza, Gunsmoke, The Twilight Zone. I knew The Twilight Zone. But here's one. Perry Mason, The Outer Limits, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Get Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Get Smart.
Yeah, he was. I remember that one, Stryker. Oh, my God. Mission Impossible.
Well, the man has to work. He can't just do Star Trek.
Yeah, but he did a lot of these shows while he was doing Star Trek. So from 66 to 69, he was doing the Star Trek, the show. He also did Get Smart, Daniel Boone, Mission Impossible. I mean, and he did 49 episodes of Mission Impossible while doing Star Trek.
Well, you have to think that it wasn't certain that Star Trek was going to get renewed. It was going to get canceled after the second season, but
that's true.
Fans wrote in for that third season. So, I mean, I'm sure he was, trying to get all the work he could just in case Star Trek didn't pan out.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. So we also have some people that wrote into us their thoughts on Leonard Nimoy. So why don't we jump over to that really quickly?
Oh, wait, before we do that, I did want to read the tweet that his granddaughter posted under his account. It was a twit longer post.
Okay.
Here it goes. So, hi all. As you know, my grandpa passed away this morning at 8:40 from end-stage chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. He was an extraordinary man, husband, grandfather, brother, actor, author, the list goes on, and friend. Thank you for the warm condolences. May you all live long and prosper. Danny. P.S. I will be putting special shirts up on our site, shoplllap.com, where all of the proceeds will go to the COPD Foundation. I hope to hear from you all. So I really hope people either donate or, get a live long and prosper shirt. Why not?
Right. Yeah, it's for a good cause.
Definitely.
I did not know there was a book called I Am Spock, though.
Yeah, that was.
I Am Not Spock and I Am Spock, 20 years apart from each other.
Yep.
So getting to the tweets that responded to, we put out there, it's short notice, we put it out there a couple hours ago, asking people their thoughts on Leonard Nimoy and Spock. So we have Jeff Moses, who is at something I can't read.
There it is right there, people. You can't read.
Oh, well, I'll spell it out. Unless, Eric, do you...
Oh, yeah, that's Carrie U. Hiroken.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's my friend Jeff. Yeah.
Of course.
Like a few of my friends have said, I've never been a Trekkie, but I still respected Leonard Nimoy and what he did for the franchise and the TV character universe. Live long and prosper. So.
Oh, that's a trend that I saw on Facebook and Twitter from some of my non-Star Trek fans. They said, hey, look, I wasn't big into Star Trek, but I realized what this person meant to everyone. And so it was very nice to see even non-Trekkies talk about it and acknowledge that he passed.
Yeah, I mean, it blew up on my feed.
Well, before we were recording, I had mentioned that on Twitter, there's like 5 different things related to Leonard Nimoy that are trending. Star Trek, Live Long and or LLAP, Rest R.I.P. Spock, Star Trek, and Leonard Nimoy. So I think that goes to show what an impact that Leonard Nimoy had on generations of people. Right. And will continue to do so in the future.
Did you know, Aaron?
Yes.
Being as a Bostonian in 2009, he was honored by Mayor Menino.
I did not know
when
that.
It was proclaimed on November 14th,
Oh,
2009. I think that's apropos as Leonard Nimoy Day in the city of Boston.
I might have known that. I completely forgot about that if I did. But that's nice.
When you go back in time in your time machine, remember to go there.
Boom, 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 boom. That was my time machine noise.
What the hell?
Next, getting back to the Twitter here, we have a couple more. We have at Snarky Sean.
He's snarky.
Who says, I didn't really watch him on the show, but as an actor, I truly respected him for just how much he contributed. Hashtag LLAP. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, thanks, Sean.
And next we have at DigiRanger1994. I feel the same way, and his guest appearances on The Simpsons and Futurama were great.
Yes.
I'm going to read a couple more from my feed. Those were all my friends on Twitter. So
thank you, Eric's friends.
Yes. Chris Evans 17, Christopher Evans. He said, I've always said that 2 movie moments that make a dude can cry: the death of Spock in Wrath of Khan and the death of Goose in Top Gun. Misty Sonby at Incinerate on Twitter said, it's sad, but he had a long, full life and shared his talent for so long. I want to celebrate that.
Yeah.
And we definitely should.
Yeah, we definitely should celebrate his life and his legacy that he's going to leave behind.
Burgundy Ranger at Burgundy Ranger on Twitter said, I know there are many episodes, and it's all relative, but how's this for a representative Spockathon? Amok Time, Journey to Babel, Menagerie, Wrath of Khan, And then Darren Moser, our buddy at
Mhm.
Dr. Sci-Fi, said, just add unification to the end. And then Burgundy Ranger replied, yeah, the TNG two-parter, that's a good ad. I didn't want to make it too long and was limited by 140 characters. But really, any episode with Spock.
Right. Yeah, you can't go wrong, I don't think. Well, maybe Spock's brain.
Well, that's if you want a good Spock laugh, I guess.
I guess. Yeah.
That's
A
all I
good
have.
one might be Mirror Mirror.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one.
That's a good one. And let's. We do have 2 responses on Facebook, so I'll jump over to Facebook and read the first one here from Michael Mikowitz, who says, "This is the first time that I felt a real loss over someone famous passing away.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I
so
did
many."
the same thing.
Yeah. Well, well, Robin Williams kind of touched me too.
Yeah.
Like so many other people, Spock was my favorite character, and Leonard Nimoy my favorite Star Trek actor. Him and Star Trek have been in my life from childhood and have given me some of my favorite memories bonding with friends and family over the show. It's such a great loss. And I agree with Mike totally here.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Mickowitz hit it right on the head.
For my friend Tim K, he said, I don't even know what to say about the passing of Leonard Nimoy. I'm glad you guys are recording a tribute. He was a wonderful man whom I'm glad I had the chance to meet and hear speak multiple times over my life. I was/am a fan of his full body of work, not just Star Trek, but every area and property he was involved in, even his comic book series, The Primordials.
I had no idea.
Yeah, me neither. Leonard had a presence that will sorely be missed. It's a very sad day indeed. Live long and prosper.
Yeah.
Well said, Tim.
Yes, thank you, Tim.
And yeah, unfortunately, I never got a chance to meet Leonard Nimoy.
Right, neither have I, unfortunately.
And I really regret not going to his last Chicago appearance. And I think I'll forever be kicking myself for not going to that. So.
Well, it is what it is. I don't think you should be kicking yourself over it.
We just got to remember, all the great work that he's done.
Right.
Yeah, Eric?
Yeah.
If you need to have somebody kick you, Aaron and I can make a trip out there. I don't think you should do it to yourself.
Oh, okay, thanks.
You have friends around when that happens. No, just kidding. Of course, those friends will be the ones that are doing it to you, but...
kick responsibly, folks.
Yes, kick responsibly.
Also, like we said, Leonard Nimoy is a Boston native, and the Boston Science Museum posted a tweet earlier today remembering our friend, #LLAP, and there's a picture here. It has the iconic Live Long and Prosper salute. Leonard Nimoy gives his birthday, and then it says, actor, director, poet, singer, photographer, environmentalist, friend of the museum, and voice of the Mulgar Omni Theater. Planet Earth will miss you.
Mugar. Mugar.
What did I say? Mooger?
Mugar, yeah. Mugar.
Mugar. Arr. And also the what's the sports network here, Marty? And Nesson?
Yeah, don't ask me.
Nesson tweeted, let me see if I can pull that up really quickly.
Nesson.
It's an acronym, though. It's not like an actual thing. Oh, here we go. All right. Actually, they posted 2 tweets. I didn't see the first one. The first one here, Leonard Nimoy, Boston native, never stopped believing in Tom Brady. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then there's a link. And then Leonard Nimoy lived long and prospered. He also saw his beloved Patriots win 1 more Super Bowl. # RIP Spock.
I'm looking at Facebook. I don't know if you're familiar with them, Eric, but Aaron, you've heard of the Ghostbusters in New Hampshire, right?
I've heard of the Ghostbusters, yeah.
Of New Hampshire.
I've heard of New Hampshire as well.
No. They're a group that goes around dressed up like the Ghostbusters.
Yeah. They
actually changed they have the ghost in the Delta Shield, and it says RIPD Spock.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you can say. I mean...
Obviously, it's touched more than just Star Trek fans. Like this, I've been seeing this stuff all day through different companies, different people in the fandom and out of the fandom. Just so many people respected the work that he did and his life. There's never going to be another person like Leonard Nimoy.
No.
Yeah, he was, and that's the thing. He was more than just Spock, and a lot of people recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So saying that, do you have any favorite Spock moments beyond what we've already said? Or something that jumps out in particular? I mean, there's so many, obviously, spanning the almost 50 years of Star Trek.
I just... every comedic moment between him and William Shatner and DeForest Kelley, just on the original series, that there's a reason that chemistry between those characters is so iconic, and it was because of those actors and how they interacted with each other. There's countless amazing Spock moments. I always liked it when those few moments in the show where he would actually smile,
right?
Where Spock has smiled.
Yes.
That was so rare in the series, but it was always a great moment when he did. I just liked all that he did. I really liked the movies. I especially liked Star Trek IV. That had a lot of great Spock moments. And
he directed Star Trek IV, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He wrote it. He directed it.
Yeah. And again, the most powerful scene in all of Star Trek is the death of Spock. Like I was telling you, Aaron, I'll never be able to watch that the same way again. Right now, I don't think I could at all, because it's a little painful right now. It takes on a new meaning now that Leonard Nimoy has actually passed, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think the movies resonate more with me than the TV show did, especially Star Trek II.
Yes.
Yeah.
Star Trek IV and Star Trek VI, for me anyway.
Oh, absolutely, me too. Yeah.
We have, his death in Star Trek II, his sacrifice to save the crew, and then you have in Star Trek IV him coming back into himself, literally, and kind of stumbling around, finding himself again. And I thought that was cool because you saw growth in his character up until Star Trek II, and then it's kind of like in Star Trek IV, it was like a reset button was pushed, so he was back to that stiff Spock. But then after that movie, it changed back into the more relaxed Spock.
Yeah.
And then it was skip Star Trek V, and then we have
right.
Though the boot scene in Star Trek V was awesome.
Yes.
Where they're going up the Jeffries tube.
Oh, the 120 decks?
And 125.
No, I thought...
probably why JJ thinks the Enterprise is so big.
You know what I thought?
You only watched Star Trek V.
You know what I thought in that movie was great? Is when they're trying... 5.
Okay.
When they're trying to take back the city there, when they do the storming of the city.
Paradise City?
Yeah, Paradise City. When Kirk
Nimbus
says...
3, right?
Huh?
Nimbus 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kirk says to him, be one with the horse. And he just looks at him and he goes, yes, Captain.
God, yeah, the movies were fantastic. And in fact, I might watch a
non-death
one.
I
think Star Trek IV would be good, and Star Trek VI.
Here's a good.
Star Trek 6 is my favorite one. Yeah.
Guys, on Facebook, one of my friends put a picture of the empty seat. Remember when they look back at his seat?
Yeah.
The science officer's seat when he goes down to fix the engine room.
Gonna get down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks at it. That's a powerful picture.
A couple other people have posted that picture.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been posting the scene where Spock is jettisoned in the torpedo casing.
Oh, God, that freaking kills me when I see that. Like, God.
Yeah, but what kills me is horrible acting. I mean...
See, the jettison doesn't affect me more than the scene where he's speaking to Kirk. That would get me if I had to watch that again. So I'm not going to watch it again for a while.
I don't think I'll be watching that anytime soon, to be honest.
Yeah.
As much as a great movie that is, but yeah.
So our next episode will not be a review of The Wrath of Khan.
No.
Unless we watch the new version.
The Wrath of... Into Darkness.
Into Darkness.
See, you don't even remember the name of the movie, Marty.
It's horrible. No, actually, I like that movie, but I just... You could watch that, because...
Because it's Kirk dying?
I'm glad that we can laugh during this. I really am. And I think Leonard Nimoy always celebrated life in his own way when he was alive. And I think he would want people to just pause, remember him for a bit, but to carry on.
Right. Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Yeah. Any other comments we have for the one, the only Leonard Nimoy?
Just watch some of the funny stuff he's been in. Just get that Hobbit video that he was
the
in
Bilbo
from the
Baggins
70s.
video.
Bilbo Baggins, yeah.
The Lazy Song.
The Lazy Song was fantastic.
Yes.
I gotta watch that again.
Yeah. That really put a smile on my face. I needed that today. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely watch that. And there are some funny Spock moments. If I can, I'm trying to recall one off the top of my head. Obviously, that's not. The moments with Nurse Chapel are amusing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I like this one. Somebody on my Facebook said, "Leonard Nimoy, you're now amongst the stars. Say hello to Gene Roddenberry."
Oh, yeah. Gene, DeForest.
Yeah, someone posted a really bad, not a bad picture, but just really sad.
Mm-hmm.
There's a screenshot from the original series where they're all around the conference table, Kirk, Spock, McCoy, and Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
And the next picture that they posted, it's just Kirk alone in the conference room. I almost lost it.
Jeez.
I mean, it's sad. We're at that time in our lives where we're not getting any younger, and neither is the...
Speak for yourself.
Right. I'm actually getting younger. I'm immortal. No, but... But, it's just... unfortunately, we're going to be losing more of these original actors in the future, and it's something we're going to have to accept. But damn, did this hit hard today.
Mm-hmm.
It really did.
So something else, if you want to watch something with Nimoy in it, not in Spock, on Vimeo, there's a documentary with his son, Adam, called Leonard Nimoy's Boston. And it's about 28-minute video. So if you go on Vimeo, you'll be able to watch it in its entirety. And it's about him in Boston, walking the streets and sharing his memories about his early years in the 50s, well, in the 50s, selling newspapers near the Common, sailing on the Charles River, and growing up in the West End. Yeah. And
this was released 10 months ago, so wow, I'm really glad they filmed something like this. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can on Vimeo, check it out. I know I will. Yeah. So I guess that's it. If I get the footage in time, my friend will be a correspondent for us in LA getting some interviews of people by Leonard Nimoy's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So hopefully we'll have some of those to share with you also in this episode.
Jamie Ryan here, live at Leonard Nimoy's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, reporting from the Starfleet Escape PodCast. Today we're going to talk to a few fans of Leonard Nimoy, see how they feel about his passing. Here we are with...
Joe from Los Angeles. Well, I wore the shirt today kind of as in memoriam to him. Leonard Nimoy was... when I was a kid, I watched Star Trek reruns, and that was kind of my big introduction into sci-fi. And for a long time, I was a big Trekkie, and I got to meet him a few times, and he was always just a really wonderful, nice guy. He loved all his fans. He loved all his work. And it was a joy to hear about him talk about his work. He absolutely loved it. And his passing kind of, it was kind of a shock. But, I mean, I know he wasn't the youngest man in the world, but still kind of a shock. And I'll be honest with you, out of the whole core group, I wasn't expecting Kirk to be the last one. So
I thought Shatner would go first.
Yeah, I know. But I think I think Bill's probably going to outlive them all except for Sulu. I think Sulu's going to be the last one. But, yeah, Jurisuke, Sulu. I think he's probably going to be the last one. Anyway, it's a real shame. we really lost someone who's not just from the Star Trek perspective, but as a director, producer, he was really talented, and it's really sad.
What's your name and where you from?
I'm Raul from Maywood.
And how do you feel about Leonard's passing?
It's like losing a dad. He was a great role model. William Shatner, he's the star of the show, but Leonard Nimoy, he was like the roots, the morals, the manners, and a great man to admire. It's quite a loss.
Thank you. Where you from?
I've been out here since 1999.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Small white blossoms. There's small white blossoms.
Yeah, I can't believe he's gone.
Yeah. But see, he certainly had the luck of just being employed all the time. Here he's on Star Trek and then Mission Impossible, and then he gets to have that. He gets to star on his In Search of show.
I remember that show. I liked it a lot.
And of course, as you can see by the motion picture camera, he was in those Star Trek pictures, like Star Trek the Motion Picture, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. That's why he's got a big motion picture camera star.
Wow, Chewbacca. You're the last guy I expected to see here. Did you know Leonard? Spock? Did he ever try to recruit you for one of his movies? We have a huge star here with us today, and it's nice to see you. You're looking pretty crappy these days. Job of the Hut, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? How do you feel about the passing of Spock? Any chance he owed you money? Ah, that's terrible. Well, anyway, you're not going to get it from him now. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Until next time, I'm Aaron.
I'm Marty.
And I'm Eric.
Live long and prosper.
To the journey, even though it's a Voyager thing. But
Oh
to
my
Leonard,
God.
but to Leonard Nimoy's journey.
Yeah.
You send him to the Delta Quadrant. I'm just kidding.
He'd be able to make his way back.
Faster than Voyager.
Maybe. I don't know. This is just rambling at this point.
Yes, it is.
Infinite diversity and infinite combinations.
The good of the many outweigh the good of the few, or the one. You have been listening to the Starfleet Escape PodCast on the Four-Eyed Radio Network, where you can catch a new episode every other Monday. You can find us on the web at sfescapepod.com. Follow us on Twitter at sfescapepod. Like us on Facebook.com/sfescapepod. And add us to your circle on Google Plus by going to google.sfescapepod.com.